Subtle signs that you are the masculine in your relationship. Ooh, this is going to be a good one. I'll see you right after this. Hello, my name is Chengi. I am your dating and relationship expert here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy, where we teach you, ladies, how to present as a high value, high status, and high worth woman that high quality men find completely irresistible again and again and amen. Okay, so if it might be like, alrighty, so here is what we're going to be talking about today. It's very easy to be in your masculine and not know it, because we have the big signs, right? We've got the big red flags when we are, kind of leading and doing all of these things, chasing men and doing all of these things. But how do we know that it's a little bit more subtle? Because I found that I have been in masculine energy in very subtle ways and not quite realize that, oh, that's masculine, Chengi. So we're going to talk about that, and I'm going to give you a few signs so that you don't get lost. And I'm just going to be obviously looking at my computer here because I've got some notes and we are in the principal's office. So here goes. All right. Sign number one is you tend to not need help. In your relationship, you don't tend to ask for help. You tend to get it done. But most importantly, you don't accept help. So even when your partner offers to do something for you, oh, would you like me to get that for you? No, I got this. Do you need help with that, babe? Oh, I've got this. You would rather crack your back trying to lift something than actually being willing to accept help. You genuinely like to prove that you can do it yourself. But this is quite subtle, because you probably tell yourself, well, if I do it myself, I'll do it quicker, it'll be more efficient. And I've been asking him for a long time. And it just seems efficient to do it. And that's a trait. That's a trait that, efficiency and needing it to be done, impatience, all of those things that are driving this do it myself. That's you being masculine in the relationship. Okay. So you want to be aware when your partner is offering help. And if he is not offering help, be aware to ask for help. If something requires you to get a ladder and he's tall enough, ask him to get it for you. If something requires all your strength to open a bottle or a can or whatever, ask him to open it for you. If there is something that requires exertion from you, that will be easy for him to do. Get used to getting him to help you. We don't need to exert ourselves, darlings. And if he does offer, even if you've got this, accept it. Okay. Number two, you are obsessed with equality. You're obsessed with it. Now, nothing wrong with being treated fairly, and nothing wrong with understanding the complement of a relationship. But for you, everything is about equality. It's about paying your own way, making sure you meet your half, never accepting, gifts without giving him back. Always feeling unable to receive support, protection, or provision. Okay, you tend to think, well, I can protect myself to the same level that you can protect me, and just this feeling that I won't accept your protection. And I have to be honest, that was a big one for me, because when my ex-husband particularly wanted to make sure I was safe, where are you going? Who are you going to be with? What's the crowd like? He is assessing the danger of where his wife is going to make sure that A, he's on high alert or middle alert and not on non-alert. He wants to know the time. He wants to know how he could best protect me. But I experienced that very much as control. I experienced it as monitoring and controlling. And when you are in your masculine energy, it can feel like that, because internally you have this sense that I can protect myself. I can keep myself safe. I can. And if you've been single for a while and have been keeping yourself safe and have been protecting yourself, when somebody asks you, where you're going and some details about where you're going, just so that they can hold you, they can make sure that you're safe and that you're okay and they don't have to worry. Often you're going to internalize that as being spoken down to, as being managed, and you are going to have an energy around you that is resistant. Okay. Which leads me to my next one. You generally have resistance to anything your partner says. Like you have a resistance to his ideas, you have a resistance to his thoughts, his ways of doing things. You always have this feeling that I can do it better. I can definitely do it better. I can think that thought way better. I am way smarter. So you tend to be resistant alongside being competitive. You feel like he's condescending, like he's assuming that you're not a smart woman, and you feel some kind of way. But really, that is just him wanting to give something to you. And if you find yourself in resistance to receiving his thoughts, his ideas, his direction, then you're definitely in subtle masculine energy. And if you find yourself competing intellectually with him, now when I say competing, I'm not saying that you have to dumb down. I'm not saying that a woman, to be honest, we probably are a tiny bit smarter, but, don't tell them I said that. It's not true of every woman all the time, and I know it's a bit of a stereotype. But as women, we can feel absolutely smarter than the men that we're with. I don't know what it is in us. We just think we're smarter. And, we can get into competitive energy. Just because he wants to do it this way and you think it will take shorter time and more efficient if he did it your way, doesn't mean that you have to resist or compete for your way to be the right way. When you're in your feminine energy, you're just happy that somebody else is doing it, that somebody else is doing the heavy lifting, that somebody else is driving. If he wants to do the scenic route if he wants to take 20 minutes to get to where you can get to in 5 minutes, you're not bothered by the route that he's taking. As a feminine woman, you're like, I'm just enjoying the ride. I am not doing any heavy lifting. Sit back in your chair and let that man drive and talk about fun things and use that time to get some valuable attention from him, because probably he's always so busy and you don't get a chance to sit down and talk, laugh about it. Let him drive you around the world. Allow yourself to be led. Allow yourself to lean back and let somebody else do the heavy lifting. Why wouldn't you want that? So if you find yourself being competitive, find yourself needing to be heard, find yourself belittling his ideas or his thoughts, you are in that competitive energy, and that is definitely subtle and definitely a masculine energy. The other one is if you find yourself super driven. Let's say as a couple you've decided, or you're dating and you decided to go to a particular destination, you've decided you're going to do A, for instance. And basically, it's a project that both of you have decided to do, but then you take it over. You organize everything. You take over everything. Now, that doesn't mean that the woman can't be the better administrator in this example, but you tend to be driven to make things come to pass and leave the man almost sitting in the feminine, because you're just going to take care of it. What you need to do is be more inclusive. Even if you are the administrator, ask him what choice and decision he would like, how he would like to pay for it, how he would like us to proceed, what transportation he thinks is best. You want to constantly allow him to be part and lead the decision-making process. You want him to feel like he's driving the agenda. Don't ever let a man feel like you can drive the agenda, whether it's a business project or a hobby or, a romantic weekend away. Let him drive the agenda. You probably drive a lot of things at work. You're either running a business or a leader, or you're powerful, or you have a job. And we all have something we have to drive. Maybe you've got your children and you're driving them all the time and driving their schedules. This is a perfect time for you to let him drive. I want to thank you so much for your support of this channel. You mean the world to me, and I am so grateful that your likes, your subscriptions, your comments make this work possible. I'd really want to encourage you, before you go any further, if you are enjoying this content, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with somebody that you know will absolutely benefit, because you're changing not only your life, not only the life of your friends, but the lives of women all over the world and children in ways you cannot even begin to imagine. So don't forget, before we get back to the program, to hit that like button and share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you. And sometimes we drive because we're afraid to be disappointed. We feel like if I take the driver's seat, then, well, I'm not going to be disappointed. But here's what you need to know. If you take the driver's seat, you may not be disappointed, but you're going to be disappointed when he just becomes your tag along and he's not invested and you feel like you're doing all the heavy lifting. And it's okay to be disappointed that it didn't happen because he didn't make it happen, because he will learn that if he doesn't make it happen, nothing is going to happen. Sometimes I think I really want this weekend. I just need this weekend away. And if I leave it to Super John over here, the weekend will never happen. We'll find ourselves on some camping trip or whatever. But it's okay for that to happen. It's okay for the men that we're asking to lead to fail, to fall short of our expectations, to underdeliver in the training process of them really embracing their masculine. It's better that the weekend doesn't happen and he realizes how deeply disappointed you are that he didn't follow through, and that he now has to find a way to correct that because he feels bad that he didn't meet his feminine's expectation and that your weekend was ruined because he did not step up. It's better to leave a man in a position where he's like, gosh, I didn't step up, so now I've disappointed my feminine, and learn than be so afraid of disappointment that you end up driving. And it's such an easy place to slip into. It's so easy to take the reins and, allow the man to take the lead. But in this instance, absolutely 100%, you will find that these are subtle ways, very natural ways. Many of these things were modeled by our mothers. So this is really going to help us. Last but absolutely not least, well, two more. If you do not own a dress, a skirt, lace, silk, anything feminine in your wardrobe, chances are you are subtly in your masculine energy. Maybe you think, but I've got, colorful trousers and, but if you do not possess delicate jewelry or any jewelry, or, everything about you is just efficient, your clothing is efficient. It gets the job done. It gets you from point A to point B and nobody should bother you. Then that, Houston, is a problem. You need to be investing in your feminine wardrobe. Of course, you can book our style concierge, Unique, who will be happy to take you through your feminine wardrobe. But if you find yourself not being drawn to feminine wardrobe, now this doesn't mean that every single feminine woman must wear a flowery, floaty dress. You can still wear a dress that is structured if structure is what you love. You can still stay true to your style, to your vibration, even if you're a hippie, whatever your style is. There's always a feminine version to that style. Even if you're a tomboy and you like to just really wear there's a way to wear these things in such a way that they're feminine. So even if you like big bad jeans that are ripped and you love wearing cloggy shoes, you can always pair that up with a nice soft silk blouse or something chiffon or something to just juxtaposition to signal that you are in your feminine. And there are multiple ways of doing that. It can be a little brooch. It can be maybe really well done nails and good makeup skills. There's so many ways to signal your femininity and to tune into it above all, because your feminine energy is your thriving energy and your masculine energy is your survival energy. So whenever you need to survive, you're going to be in masculine energy, but when you need to thrive, you're going to be sitting more in your feminine energy. So this is really going to be crucial and important. Last but absolutely not least is you are impatient. Everything's going to be done right now, right here, right now. You are finger snapping, finger rolling. Come on, let's go. You're always the one at the door saying, everybody, let's go. Because often, let's say your partner maybe is not ready or is usually quite slow. You are the one who's constantly creating the pace of the home, how everything moves. Again, because as women, sometimes we get into this control, because controlling energy is masculine energy. We want to control outcomes. We want to be on time. We don't want to be late. We don't want to disappoint anybody. So we get into these kind of these unfortunate situations where we find ourselves leading and pacing, whether you are dating or in marriage or in a relationship, and you want to step into your feminine and let the masculine lead, he also has to take responsibility for the pace that things are moving in, the pace that, things are flowing in. You've got to be okay with pacing, a man's pacing, and that means that if we're going to be late every single week because of him, then let's be late every week because of him. Or perhaps you could leave early and, he could show up late if he wants to. But what you don't want to do is have this rhythm that your man has to go with. Things, even when he's texting you in the early dating stages, don't force the speed. Let him text you at the pace that he feels comfortable. Let him call you. Let him escalate at the pace that he feels comfortable. And your job is to assess whether or not you enjoy the pace, if the pace feels right, if the pace feels good in your body. And if it doesn't, you get to walk away. And if it does, then, well, hey, presto, here we've won. But, you want to definitely lean back and, do that. And I did say that that was the last one, but I got a bonus one for you. And this is definitely something that I was totally, totally, totally guilty of, and still am guilty of, is being direct. Now, listen, men do respect direct communication. It's actually better to ask who needs to be met than to be hinting all day, every day, right? Hinting is lovely if you know how to do it and how to do it well. Like, I'd love to take a walk. I'd love to have dinner. I would love some flowers. You can hint to let him know what you would like without saying, I don't date guys who don't take me out for dinner. I really need you to buy me flowers, but sometimes directness can come in the form of calling out. Okay. Just this calling out, well, I see what you're doing and I'm not down for it. I don't appreciate that behavior around me, right? Now, there are ways of saying that in a feminine way, but sometimes we don't have to be so direct. Sometimes we can be more subtle. So, for instance, somebody asks you, hey, I want to come over and see you, and you feel like we are not at that level where you can be just popping up at my house. You're not my boyfriend, you're not my man, you're not my husband. We're not trying to do that right now. Okay, we're not trying to do that. But ordinarily, old me would have been like, I don't, these are my standards. I don't allow men to come to my house unless, they're my boyfriend or my husband, or I can see what you're doing and it's not going to work, something like that may have been old me. But as we grow and evolve and sit more into our feminine, we can just say, unfortunately, I'm really busy and I won't be able to receive guests, but I'd love for us to be able to do something when you are available. Okay, so we can be subtle. We can say, hey, look, I'm not on that. I'm not available for that. But if you want to plan something, I'd be happy to be available for that. And there's so many ways of doing that. And that's why I created the exactly what to say to him dating and relationship scripts. Okay. And you can download those for free in the link in my bio or at the blackswanrelationshipacademy.com. You can actually buy all 100 scripts. Also, I think there are quite a few of any scenario that you would get into and might need subtle, creative, fun ways of communicating to the man that you are dating. And for those of you who are in relationships, we have the How to Talk to Men So They Listen masterclass. And in that masterclass, you will learn how to ask your needs to be met in a way that is feminine and that allows him to be willing to do that. So loads of information there for you. But if you hit any of these and you feel you're a little too direct and you don't always go for more subtle and, trying to get what you need without punching him in the face, verbally, emotionally, or energetically, then I certainly hope that this video was helpful and we can pull ourselves back a little bit from being a little bit more controlling. And I hope this video was helpful. I will see you on my next one. In the meantime, do take care of you. Love you lots. Bye-bye now.
Simple steps to join Black Swan community. Download the Black Swan app from either Google Play Store or Apple Store. Launch the app and tap on register. Put in your valid information, then tap on continue. Put in the verification code sent to your email to authenticate your account. Then log into your account. Be sure to accept all permissions displayed at installation stage to enjoy all the cool features in the app. You can now enjoy community of high-value women with support from coaches and trainers. Book calls with coaches, chat, post, and interact with the community. Enjoy!